Greetings, welcome to Taro Alpha and welcome to a brand new video. Today we'll discuss about a motorcycle designed in Italy. Features a Chinese reliable Li-Fan engine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Taro GP 1. For everything involved with this Taro GP 1, we will look through 5 pros and 5 cons for this motorcycle. Starting with the number 1 positive for this motorcycle, the design. I absolutely love the way body kitting has been done and the engine performance with it. Let's have a detailed look for everything packed together.
Alright, so initially I would like to start to talk about the dual profile headlight that this bike features. This has 2 projection units in the front, and I would say that the day-making LEDs along with it looks very perfect. And I absolutely love how the headlights been designed for this motorcycle. The bike itself is very huge, and the way the headlights been designed, it patches in perfectly with the bike. I will discuss the cons involved with the headlight further out throughout this video. Now coming to the design profile for the motorcycle. The whole chassis layout has been designed from Italy, and I have no complaints about the durability for everything that's included in the motorcycle. The front suspensions are forked and the feedback's very good. And even pointing out from the minor details, the stickerings, the paddings, the nuts, the bolts, and everything here are quality choices. The mirrors, the clamps, everything are of durable quality and I have no complaints whatsoever. And the bike features LED side indicators that are very bright from a distance. Now coming to the chassis finish. The bike has a trellis frame layout throughout the whole body. The weight itself is distributed properly throughout the whole body section, and the bike is massive in context of the weight. It weighs around 165 kilos, and the overall lattice frame design is spread out throughout the body and beautifully integrates with the taillight section and the whole front paneling of the motorcycle. And the bike features a 13.5 liter fuel tank. The tank involves padding and protection, and I love the way the overall construction has been done. And you get a part divided handlebar that's solidly smooth with radius. The bike has a good turning radius in the context of its size, but it would get seemingly difficult for the bike to move along in the city because of its length, weight, and overall size. And in the cockpit area, you get an analog rev counter, a digital speed meter, odometer, but I will also discuss the negatives involved with this throughout the video further out. You have the general switch contents, the levers, peg, and everything in the foot section is also smooth. And you also get an adjustable brake lever, so I would call that a bonus. Now coming to the tires for this motorcycle, one of the largest in this segment. The bike features a 150 section rear tire. I would say the profile for these tires are for on-road conditions. The bike also features a 110 section front tire, both of them consisting of a 17-inch ring setup. And the bike features a 7-step adjustable gas-filled rear monoshock. It's good with its feedback, but I will also discuss a con involved with it further throughout the video. Now coming to the seating position for this motorcycle, the bike has an 800mm ground clearance, and for short riders it might get difficult to move around with it in the city. But you can completely tuck yourself in while riding fast, and I absolutely love the humongous size the bike has.
Now let's jump to the engine of the motorcycle. I have no question about the durability and reliability for such units because it comes from very trusted engine makers, Li-Fan. Let's have a detailed look at its performance and the way it behaves.
We also did a 0 to 100 test run. The bike managed to touch 100 in around 14 to 16 seconds depending upon conditions. The bike managed to stay optimum between 100 to 125 km per hour, and we also went for a top speed test run. But I was observing for very low revs the bike managed to touch good speed numbers. but the rev to speed ratio wasn't right. This might have been some systematic error here and there. But then again, the optimum top speed for this bike would be around 133 kilometers per hour.
And now, coming to the number 3 positive for this motorcycle. This would be the extras that this bike features. This has side emergency blinkers and a side stand sensor.
The emergency blinkers have been a good thought for the motorcycle. In a traffic-driven city, this is something very helpful for motorcycle riders. And the bike also features a side stand sensor, which does not allow the bike to start if the side stands parallelly applied. Now coming to the braking, the bike features a 300mm dual front disc setup, integrated with a 240mm rear disc setup. It also features CBS, i.e. combi braking, that integrates perfectly with the 150 section tire. The overall 60-40 ratio combined braking makes the stopping force more effective than the power the engine creates, so hats off to the overall braking the bike configures. Now coming to my 5th positive for this motorcycle, the exhaust system. I love the way the piping and the housing for the exhaust has been done. The notes are a treat for the ears, and here's how it sounds.
Let's jump to all the cons involved with this bike one by one.
So the monoshock feedback is pretty positive for the rider, while the pillion does suffer in account of some rough stiffness. Although the bike is very stable in high rev ends, the suspension feedback is a so-so deal for a new unit. I've been told by users that this does adjust and give good feedbacks over time. And moving to the second negative, the pillion seat. I didn't like the way the pillion seat has been adjusted. It might get a little rough for the pillion. And the ground height and clearance too, along with the pillion seat, makes it tough for short riders to ride along the city. Now coming to the third negative, the trip and the odometer. The odometer does lack a trip meter, and I think for a city that we live in, a trip meter is a must necessity if you want to keep account of your fuel consumption. Now these seemingly attractive headlights does have an issue. The bike's low beam isn't very stable and is not adjusted properly. Some fellow users have complained that the low beam isn't effective on the highway. But the headlight does give good feedback when it's set on high beam. So I think moving to a more powerful bulb setup would improve the capabilities of the headlight's low beam setup. Even though these tires are masters in on-road conditions, I was not seemingly satisfied with the CST grips in muddy or dusty road situations. The bike does corner effectively in dry road conditions, but in muddy or off-track conditions, the tire feedback wasn't appealing to me. So I think moving on to better grip radial tires would be a very wise decision for users of this motorcycle. The electrical wiring has been an issue for this bike. I've been told by a few experienced users that the wiring does flicker or glitch. After a quick Friday shower for the motorcycle, this may result to a minor glitch, but Taro Bangla did mention about improving the wiring setup. So this is everything that we had for this motorcycle here today. Stay tuned until the next one. We'll come up with another video very soon.